Indian Air Force, IAF, pilot Abhinandan Varthaman, captured by Pakistan on Wednesday, will be handed over by Pakistan to India in a short while from now, at the Attari-Wagah border. Visuals of armored cars and ambulances drawing up on the Indian side of the Wagah crossing indicated that Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman was on his way from Lahore. A small crowd, some in it holding the Indian flag, waited for the 35-year-old hero pilot's homecoming after 2 days in Pakistani captivity. Abhinandan Varthaman was driven to the border in a Pakistani military vehicle and is likely to be released to India after sunset. To restrict the crowds, an elaborate flag-lowering ceremony at the Wagah crossing between Indian and Pakistani soldiers, which draws thousands of spectators on both sides, was cancelled in the morning. The government wanted to avoid the jostling and media frenzy around the pilot, now for many a symbol of hope and the easing of tension between India and Pakistan just as they were seen to be sliding towards a major confrontation. Soon after, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan announced the pilot's release as a peace gesture. India had asked for permission to send a special IAF flight to bring back the captured IAF pilot from Islamabad, but Pakistan had rejected the request. The country communicated to India late on Thursday night that he would be handed over through the Wagah-Attari border. Sources say India wanted to bring him straight back to Delhi and whisk him away for a debriefing and medical checkup, given that the 35-year-old pilot was wounded during his capture and interrogated. A small crowd of people danced to drum beats, shouted slogans of Bharat Mata Ki Jai and waved the national flag as they waited for the pilot. Some carried garlands in the hope of personally welcoming the pilot. The pilot's return marked a dramatic shift in mood after the two countries engaged in an aerial clash for the first time in nearly 50 years on Wednesday. World leaders had urged both countries to step back as hostilities peaked over the past few days as India sent fighter planes to strike a terror training camp in Pakistan and Islamabad tried to target Indian military installations in response. Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman engaged in an air duel with one of the Pakistani F-16s that attempted air strikes across the line of control on Wednesday and shot it down before his jet crashed and he was forced to eject. Videos put out on Pakistani accounts showed the pilot blindfolded and wounded, his hands tied, calmly answering questions. The videos, removed soon after, were seen as a violation of the Geneva Convention and led to global calls for his release and restraint from both sides. After the pilot's release was announced, the Army, Navy and Air Force, in a rare joint briefing in Delhi, said they were prepared to tackle any provocation from across the border. Washington's role in lowering the temperature was revealed when President Donald Trump told the world media on Wednesday in Hanoi that reasonably attractive news was coming from India and Pakistan. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said he spent a good deal of time on the phone speaking to leaders on both sides.